Good day, everyone. This is paper 16 titled A Framework for Spontaneous Driver Drowsiness Detection based on improved hog features and naive classification by Sami Bakit and Ayub Al-Hamadi, presented to you by Emmanuel Guides and Nico Gabriel-Hismaña. For the introduction and for the motivation of the study, it is, of course, to help reduce the alarmingly high rate of road traffic collisions, especially those that are induced by drowsy drivers. The general solution for this problem is first to detect drowsiness, then to alert the driver if he or she is drowsy, and lastly and presumably to help avoid accidents. There are already a lot of past solutions for this, but as you can see, based on the first example, it is obtrusive, impractical, and expensive. The second example, uh, despite it being less obtrusive, still it is very expensive to implement. The current solution and more preferred solution for this is through computer vision since it is more practical, unobtrusive, and inexpensive. For the proposed solution of the paper, of course, its main goals are for the solution using naive Bayes classification and an improved Hog algorithm is for it to be practical, unobtrusive, and inexpensive. It should also be adaptive to whatever real-world and real-time scans it would be taking since there could be a lot of variations in the orientation, lighting, conditions, and even the garments that the subject could be wearing. Lastly, perhaps most importantly, it should be accurate. What is HOG anyway? So HOG is an acronym for histogram of oriented gradients. It is a method that counts the occurrences of a gradient orientations in the localized portions of an image. As you can see here in the example, in pixels in which there are more varying intensities of pixels, there are a lot more activities in in the visualization of HOG. So for the rough steps in HOG, basically, first is to pre-process the data, then to calculate the gradients and orientation, and of course, then to build the histogram. Of course, after getting that data, we're going to normalize it. And lastly, the step, this is optional, is just to visualize the HOG representation or visualization of the processed image.
Moving on to methodology, the proposed framework has the following steps. Get the driver image, detect the face and eyes, isolate the eye region, extract the hog features, then classify whether awake or drowsy. What makes this framework unique is that it only uses the eye region, then it uses binarized orientation shifted histograms. So unlike the regular hog, this one uses two cells at a time. Then driver image could be of different angles, and then it's faster because they use naive Bayes. So first, you get the driver image, then you clean that up. Next, you identify the driver face using classified ADA boost based on HAR-like features, so the face is now isolated. Once the face is isolated, they need to isolate further the eye pair region using ASM. So this is a preview of the ASM that they used for the study. Next, we extract the hog features using binarized orientation shifted histograms. As I've mentioned before, instead of just one cell at a time, it processes two cells, which allows for processing or detection of rotations or shifting as well. So as you can see here, the hog features are very different when the eyes are closed or the eyes are open. The hog features are then classified whether awake or asleep or drowsy. Basically, they just sum up all the probabilities, and whichever one has a higher probability, that's the prediction that they make. So in this case, you can see here the driver is most likely awake. So for the results and discussion, in the experiment, they used the NHTU UDD dataset with the following scenarios: barefaced, glasses, sunglasses, and so on. So as you can see, it did really well in terms of accuracy overall, but it did slant a little in terms of scenarios where the driver used sunglasses because their eyes are covered. Even when compared to the other previous frameworks, it did really, really well at 85.62% accuracy on average. In conclusion, the framework was able to be more accurate and provide real-time predictions on driver drowsiness, but it was trained on a dataset with people in a controlled environment and had issues when the driver's eyes were obscured. As for recommendations, is to use datasets that are more diverse, and to embed boards or use microcomputing systems to improve performance. Any questions?